What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap as the Lakers fall to the Utah Jazz 115-100. But not all is lost. Alex Caruso continues to shine. I really like what I saw from Mo Wagner. Scott Machado, I believe, should get more minutes because I really like – he's a very shifty, speedy, high basketball IQ with good handles point guard. And even though I know he's 28, hey, some players are really late bloomers. So I know he's had some experience previously in the NBA, but you never know. He might be coming into his own. Maybe we should start in one of these games just to see what he could do in a starting role. I would. I mean, the season's pretty much over. But I did like what Scott Machado did. I love Alex Caruso, though. If we have to give one final roster spot, if we had to make that decision today, right, because we have 14 slots and one open one, I'd give it to Alex Caruso. He's very, very smart guard. He could play the one or the two. He's a sneaky athletic. The way he attacks the rim, man, I really like the way he attacks the rim. It reminds me of Manu Ginobili. He has that type of athleticism. He gets to the rim, tries to hammer it. He be double clutch layups. That alley-oop off of Scott Machado's pass, that was very, very impressive, man. I didn't even know Alex Caruso could get up like that. Like, I knew he could get up, but that was like on another level, man. He took it up a notch. So I think if we had to make that choice right now, I would go Alex Caruso for the rest of the season. But I would like to see what Scott Machado could do. He's a shifty, quick, heady point guard, and I like the way he played tonight. He anticipated passes on defense as well, and I'm excited to see what he could potentially do for us. He's a little undersized for the average point guard nowadays, but he makes up for it with his athleticism and his speed. So I think I like what I see. But I would like to see a little bit more before I make any final decisions on a player like that. But all in all, guys, we continue to collect another loss as far as 7 games left to go. The Lakers are officially tanking. So with 7 games left, I hope that, they lose most of them. But overall for tonight, Kuzma started off hot. He had, 20, 21 points. He tailed off a little bit in the second half, but JaVale continues to ball out, man. I'm really impressed with the way he's been playing. He had another double-double with 16 points, 13 rebounds, a couple of blocks. Jonathan Williams shows a lot of effort. Isaac Bonga is still very raw. I'm not sure if they're going to hold on to him, but Mo Wagner, another 13-point game, plays with a lot of effort. I like what he does. All in all, guys, I feel like the Lakers have some prospects here to look at for the next couple of games and see who could potentially stick on this roster, maybe potentially for next season. Next game we're coming up is crucial that we catch an L. It's the one versus the Charlotte Hornets. They currently have a better overall record than us, but we don't want to overtake them, and we don't want to pretty much have them leapfrog us in the standings as far as the tanking goes. Hey, No Pill Zero, thank you, bro. He said, always believed in Caruso. Wish he had more time to this season. Props to you, though. Keep it up with the good content. Thanks. I appreciate that, bro. Thanks for the donation. It means a lot. And, yeah, Caruso has been showing a lot of potential, man. Slowly but surely, he's starting to develop into a player himself. I mean, what his ceiling is, I have no idea. He could be a very good role player off the bench, in my opinion, at the very least. But I like the way he runs our offense. I like the way he plays the pick and roll. Again, he has good size. He plays defense. What is he, like 6'4", 6'5"? So he could be a combo guard, a 1 or a 2. And I like what he did tonight. Again, he's been playing really well ever since the injuries, unfortunately, to Brandon and Lonzo. But I like what he's doing. And to remind folks, he's not officially on the roster. He's on the two-way team, which means that we could play him for about 45 games this season. After that, his contract will be up and he can become a free agent. So, I mean, that'll be an interesting choice to see what they decide to do with Alex Caruso moving forward. He said, did you hear that despite the rumor saying that he's being fired, Luke Walton expects himself to coach the Lakers next season? What are your thoughts? My thoughts are he needs to shut up already. Well, I'll tell you what, bro. I don't think any head coach ever expects to be fired, or even if they did, they wouldn't come out in the media and say it. So Of course, he's going to say that he's got to seem confident. That way, his next potential destination thinks that he's a confident up-and-coming coach, and he has to make it seem like he was blindsided. But the writing is on the wall. At this point, it was shocking to me that he made it to the end of the season. But they stuck to their guns, and they decided that it was better for the Lakers to start from scratch in the offseason. So I believe he will get fired, and I believe they're already looking at people, but, behind the scenes. So pretty much that's what I believe. He said Kemba Walker is 28 or something, and is 0 for 28 or something in his career against LeBron. That streak is going to end next game. We'll see. It'll be an interesting game. I mean, 2 tanking teams. We'll see what happens, but we need to lose as many games as possible. 7 games left. If we could lose them all out, that'd be ideal, right? He said, so crappy being a Laker fan right now, cuz. Man, it's tough, man, but you know what? What don't kill you make you stronger, man. We're gonna surface, as a stronger team next year, and I believe in the front office still. I know a lot of people have given up on them, but I think next year we're gonna emerge as one of the top teams, and we need a lot of work. I agree with that. We need to, rebuild the culture and stuff like that. But all in all, man, the Lakers, we have a brand to live up to. We're a winning organization, and we got to get back to that. It's been 6 years too long. I think next year, lucky number 7, season number 7, that's going to be the one where we get out of this funk and I think make a playoff run, hopefully. So, Dan, he's trying to sabotage the team for next year. Well, Luke Walton? I don't know. I don't know what his intentions are, but they better not be the coach again, for the Lakers, because pretty much I think he's out the door. Luke didn't even look at Caruso most of the season after how well he played last season. Shake my head. That's a good point, Hitman. And that's a problem we've had with Luke Walton. He doesn't give certain players a fair shake. We all know about how he suppressed Kuzma his rookie season, how he suppressed Julius Randle the last season before he left. He's known to kind of give veterans a bigger opportunity than young players. But, I mean, that's why I believe he needs to get replaced. So we need to keep Zoe, B.I., Kuz, Hart, along with LeBron. At some point, familiarity has to matter. Also, consider AC as a third-string point guard. A third string or not, he's very solid. So third string, second string, whatever you want to call him, I think he could be very solid for us and at a cheap price, right? If we bring him in, I think he'll cost anywhere from $1 to $2 million a year potentially. So, yeah, why not? He said, but does he have a 40? You mean a 40-inch vertical? I'm not sure what his vertical is looking like, but he looked pretty explosive to me. I really like the way he's been attacking the rim. He's been double clutching these layups, not getting the foul, but still getting it to go. Did you see the one where the ball went on the top of the backboard and still rolled in? That's some English for you right there, man. Alex Caruso's no joke in the athleticism department. I think he's very underrated there. But, I was like, dang, he got uppies, man. He got uppies for sure. And, yeah, I didn't expect to see that dunk when Machado threw the lob, off of the backdoor screen cut. That was nice to see. And Caruso, he slammed that down with authority. So I was like, oh, dang, okay, Caruso Ginobili. But yeah, bottom line is, Lakers are looking at players. And I like what they did this game. I hope they do that for the rest of the year. The last 7 games. That's what we got to do. We got to look at the young talent we have, see who are the keepers, and just tank. It's that simple. You just got to tank. That's it. Dan, if we sign a superstar point guard such as Kemba or Kyrie, should we trade Lonzo? I will say no. I will say the more the merrier. We have a lot of versatility. You never know who gets injured. I'd rather keep the versatility, man. It's a good problem to have for the right head coach. Luke Walton would probably lose his mind over having too much talent like that. He might bench them all just out of panic, But at the end of the day, we're going to get a better head coach, in my opinion. So I believe we're going to be in good hands, hopefully. The positions don't matter playing with the system. Again, yeah, it's position is basketball, period, no matter who you play with. If you have the size and you can defend multiple positions, then you're going to get used in multiple positions. If you can stretch the floor and you're big, you're going to get used in multiple positions. If you're a big guard who can attack and also shoot, same thing. So all that really matters is having that versatility and being able to throw together the perfect personnel on the floor to make the biggest impact night in and night out. Dan, who would you draft at 10? Again, I'm not ready to deliberate that yet, man. I'm gonna wait till the offseason to see what our actual pick is gonna be, and I'm gonna continue to do my research on these players. So I'm keeping it close to the chest for now. But in the offseason, I will be dropping that video. So stay tuned, Joshua. Is that I'm saying if you're a point guard, you won't play point with the system. Why not? I'm sure LeBron, if he had a point guard he could trust like Kyrie, he would definitely play off ball a little more. I mean, it happened in Cleveland. Sometimes LeBron James, he goes through the same thing that Kobe or other great players go through where they don't trust their teammates to handle the rock, so they want it every time. However, I understand your point. Yes, LeBron needs the ball in his hands to be effective. We'll see what happens. He said, hey, what's up, Combat? How you doing, brother? He said, I'd keep him. I presume you're talking about Caruso, right? Yeah, Caruso has been impressive, man. If we can sign him to like a 1 year with a 1 year team option deal or something like that, $2 million or something like that, then I'd be definitely cool with that. What's up with Travis Ware? Haven't heard anything about him, man, at all. It'll be interesting to see if he can get an NBA career going somewhere because I liked him as a stretch big. But, yeah, I haven't heard nothing about Travis Ware since basically, Summer League? So, yeah, man. He said, hey, Dan, tough loss. I hate the fact that ESPN and the Clippers really think that they're going to have a better future than us. We'll be back on top. Hashtag can beat 16 championships. Again, ESPN is just a prisoner of the moment. When Mayweather was boxing, they called him the greatest of all time, disrespecting the real GOAT, right? That's the way they are. When LeBron was on top of the world, they called him the GOAT. Now they're off of him because all of a sudden he's struggling. I mean, ESPN, they're just prisoners of the moment. They always have been. And I don't take anything they say other than with a grain of salt. So, yep. Yeah, I'm not going to believe anything ESPN says. Didn't we cut Travis Ware a long time ago? I mean, he's basically still a journeyman in the NBA. He hasn't really found a home anywhere. So that's unfortunate for him, but I like him as a stretch big. Dan, will you do live streams when free agency starts? Absolutely. Anything breaks, I'm coming to you guys with my live reaction. I'm also going to get your guys' reaction to that. And yeah, man, anything important, Laker related, or even in the playoffs, if there's a great series, I'll probably tune in and chime in on my opinion. If you guys would like to join in with me, that'd be great as well. He said Caruso should have been Lonzo's backup this season, but we had to go after a big name, Rondo. It's time to start running our team like a team instead of the media dream one. That's a good way to put it, Julian. I'll say that. Yes, maybe the Lakers should look for effectiveness over, name brand players. I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, it is LA, and for the most part, they're going to be looking for those players that sell tickets. And, maybe Magic and Rob felt like Rondo was that he was going to bring that playoff intensity. The bad part is we got to get to the playoffs first. So, no taking shortcuts. That's what I want from my front office. At DTLF, maybe Luke is a good coach, just not the coach for this team. Well, if he was a good coach, he'd be the coach for any team. So that's my counter argument for that, Benjamin. A good coach can adapt to any roster, not the other way around. But I see your point. So Dan, the Flippers are losing in the first round. F them. This is Laker town. I'm not even worried about the Clippers, man. If they want to lose their first overall draft pick and make a big deal, pop champagne over making the playoffs, I mean, that's what poverty franchises do. So, best of luck to them. Not really. No luck to them at all, but you know what I mean. Is it, will you live stream the draft then? Absolutely. I will live stream my reaction live to the draft, and I will break down pick by pick analysis with you guys just like last year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thanks for asking, bud. I appreciate that. He said, Ben, peep my channel for the Rams content and sub, homie. Check him out for sure, man. He covers all things LA sports. So that's my dog right there, man. Keep doing your thing. I see you, Combat. You growing, brother. You growing. So keep putting in work, and I'm proud of you, man. He said, Dan, Dell Demps is to be blamed for the Lakers not making the playoffs. Partly to blame? Not really. I mean, none of these guys really have anything to do with the Lakers franchise and organization. We had to do a better job of keeping it in-house, and I don't know who leaked it, but somebody did. At the end of the day, this season, it was just a bad combination of things. So hopefully we move forward. So, hey, Dan, thanks for giving us your great content even when we're down. You're the real MVP. Good night. See you next time. Thanks, James. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man, it's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure to have this platform and to share it with you guys as well. Caruso is not a championship winning backup point guard. Just because he has some good games with no explanations doesn't mean he should be playing in the playoffs. LOL. Prisoners of the moment. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Nobody's been a prisoner of the moment. We've been watching Caruso for the last couple of years, and he's been pretty darn good. Now, if you rather give those minutes to somebody like Rondo or somebody, then I understand because they have, playoff experience under their belt. However, anytime you can get a steal player that can put up similar production and at the same time come at a discount price, that's how you land your max contract. So we're looking at everything. We're being objective. At the end of the day, we're Laker fans, so we want what's best for our team. Dan, do you think Kemba Walker is the best free agent? Let me see that one. You said, do you think Kemba Walker is the best free agent for us? Nah, man, I would take Kawhi Leonard. I always want size and defense and versatility, and I like Kawhi. But Kemba Walker's up there for sure. He's probably like a top 6 player that we should probably get in free agency. If we miss on the other 5, then Kemba to me would probably be like the 6th option. But I know Kemba's versatile as far as scoring and what he can do off the dribble. But I think we need more than that if we want to elevate the championship status. Dan, what do you think about Rick Carlisle having mutual interest to coach us next year? I think he's under contract, Hitman. So I really don't buy these rumors right now. I really don't. He said, will you have a free agents list? I do, and I'm dropping that this summer, man. As soon as the last game of the season ends, I got a lot of content lined up for you guys. So keep it locked right here. Caruso's very good with the time they gave him. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those diamonds in the rough. And the Lakers have been notorious for getting diamond in the rough type players. Unfortunately, we have lost a lot of those via trade or cutting them to make cap space for other players. So, another diamond in the rough just went off tonight for the Washington Wizards. In fact, he hit a game winner last I heard, and that was Thomas Bryant. I think he had, 18 points or 19 rebounds, something like that. So that was another diamond in the rough. We drafted late, 2nd round. And it looks like another good one got away. So Lakers have to do a better job of holding on to their good potential assets, right? He said, Dan, if you had a choice between Lou and Kidd for coach, who would you take? If it had to be between both of those, I know Tyronn Lue has championship experience, but I would not like to hire Tyronn Lue simply because then I know that LeBron is running the front office, and it's a power move from LeBron and his camp. I want Magic and Rob to run the front office and to make all the decisions. And if LeBron can have an input here and there, that'd be great. But I would rather have somebody that the front office feels like they hired. That way they don't have another excuse to say, oh, well, we didn't want to hire, Tyronn Lue, and, we did what LeBron wanted. That way they don't wash their hands the next time something doesn't work out. Hopefully it does work out. But you know what I'm saying? We need some accountability from our front office, and that's the reason I'd rather them pick somebody other than Tyronn Lue. But if we get Tyronn, then, I'm definitely rooting for him, and I hope the best. How do you feel about Lonzo done with Big Baller Brand? Do you think he will perform well next season and stay a Laker? Yeah, I really do. I believe that is something crucial. That is the next step in his career. I've always wanted him to kind of, dislodge from his father's arms and become his own man. And it looks like, he's learning that the hard way. That's what he has to do to have a long career, man. Thank you, DTLF, for all the covered this season for us. I'm looking forward to the new season with your channel. Thanks, T. I appreciate that. And yeah, I can't wait for the off season as well, man. A lot of content coming, so I can't wait to dive in and basically give you guys my thoughts and analysis on everything the Lakers should do in accordance this summer. So it should be fun, guys, and hopefully we have a lot to look forward to, man, especially come July. Oh my goodness, come July is gonna be fun. Lakers should hire Dell Demps as a new coach. He said, what's up, Dan? What's up, bro? How you doing? What up, Cash? Jason Kidd is getting exposed by the game. Do you see how the Bucks been playing without him? And Lue is the only coach that actually held LeBron to a standard and challenged him in the finals. Again, man, we don't see eye to eye at all. I feel like Jason Kidd had a lot to do with Giannis's development, and I feel like, again, coaches get thrown on the back burner, And when new coaches come in, they take all the credit. So, all I'm saying is this, man. I just want the Lakers to make their own decision. I'm not rooting for anybody, but I want the Lakers to take their time and deliberate. There's nothing wrong with that. Dan, first thing we should do is sign a superstar, then explore trades for all-stars. I think the first thing we should do is we should give Luke Walton the boot. We should give him an infinite vacation and, thank him for nothing and then hang up rudely and and make sure we block his number after that. So personally, man, I'm not very happy with Luke Walton and what he has done with the team. I know a lot of people for some reason are, but yeah, I expected a lot more. Dan, I think if we have to part with a forward, we can give up Kuzma. I believe Ingram has a higher ceiling. Plus, BI came off of surgery, and he don't have much trade value right now. Well, if we had to part with a forward, I'd probably agree with you, even though, I prefer Kuzma's personality and killer mentality. But I agree. I think Brandon has a higher ceiling. I would hate to part with Kuz, though. However, if we can keep them both, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I understand your point. If we had to, then so be it, man. When's your birthday, Dan? My birthday's December the 20th. Thanks for asking, T. Poor Devin Booker. Devin Booker just dropped another 50-piece. I mean, he's padding his stats. But my question is, can he be that great of a player on a winning team? That would be interesting to know, right? I think he'll be a good player anywhere he goes, but I think he's going to be similar to Kevin Love, where he just becomes an average all-star, or a borderline all-star if he goes to a winning team. So pretty much that's how I feel about Devin Booker. I actually prefer Bradley Beal. I feel like Bradley Beal is a much hard worker. I think when he plays good, it actually translates to team wins. Devin Booker, most of the games he's throwing up big numbers, they lose regardless. So, yeah, I'm not that impressed with losing. I care more about winning than stats. So, you're welcome, man. Thank you guys for your time. Dan, I agree with you on the Puke Walton, hashtag fire Luke Walton. That's funny. He said, you're a Sagittarius like my son, bro. That's awesome, man. Your son is cute, bro. Keep doing your parenting thing. I see you on Instagram, bro. Nice family. So congratulations, brother. Booker to LA. Nah, I won't take him. I think he's overrated, and they would really ask for a haul for Devin Booker. Now, I know we need a shooter. I get that. But they would ask for Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, and Lonzo Ball. I know Phoenix hates the Lakers, so they're in a similar boat to the Pelicans. And I don't think Booker's that one guy that's going to push us over the top, honestly. Dan, what do you think of Stevenson with that crossover? Lance, bro, he always makes them dance, man. That was beautiful to watch. And I know people are saying he stepped on his shoe or whatever, but come on. He stumbled like crazy, man. So that was awesome. And the best part was the bench reaction, man. They were going wild and crazy. And then we had Michael Rappaport complain about that. So I don't know what he's talking about, but he basically doesn't want to see emotion in sports. But you got to love it, man. When they're cheering for a teammate like that, nothing makes me happier, Thomas Bryant made the game winner in the game to make Devin Booker lose again. And that's more impressive to me. Thomas Bryant is having an impact on the Washington Wizards. Man, another good one got away. So, congrats to Thomas, man. I always liked his energy, his effort. I was on a record last year quoting my brothers to saying that we believe that Thomas Bryant was a special hidden talent that the Lakers didn't want to, display because they didn't want to trade him. But I guess we were wrong. They ended up just cutting him. We got nothing for him, and now somebody else is reaping the benefits of developing the young stud. So, kudos to him, and he's always been a hard worker. Hard workers always find a spot in this league. Reminds me a lot of Clint Capella, except he could actually stretch the floor and shoot the three. So for now, I mean, that's a ceiling, is like a Clint Capella type, crashing the glass, playing hard around the rim, blocking shots, and actually stretching the floor. So that's scary. Lakers need to draft the best center available, potentially. Beal would be a good fit with LeBron and Lonzo, but we need a big man. I agree with that, Victor. Now, if we could add Beal and keep Brandon Ingram and Lonzo, then that's something I would consider doing. But at the same time, I don't want to give up too much for Bradley Beal. As much as I like him, we need a bigger piece to help LeBron. I'm talking Kawhi. I'm talking, Kevin Durant. I'm talking a player of that magnitude. But, yep, he said, Dan, I think the rest of LeBron, I think He said, I think the rest LeBron will get in the playoffs will play off next season. I'm tired of these fake ass Laker fans putting all the blame on him. We were number 4. He got injured. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we can't. I've been on the records to mentioning we can't blame any particular one individual. This season has been a wash from the front office to the coaching staff to, including LeBron has to take a slice of the pie. But, for the failed trade that him and his agent tried to orchestrate. But for surely the whole blame isn't on LeBron. And if you want to blame somebody, the bigger chunk of the pie goes to the front office and the coaching staff. But I see your point, man. And like I said, we got to support our player. LeBron is our player. Last I checked, he signed a 4-year deal with us, right? So for these, 3 years left. For these next 3 years that are up and coming, we got to root for him. We got to treat him like one of our own. He said, this is the thing that got me wondering. Kuzma is going to have, let's read that one. He said, Kuzma is going to have to take a bench role next year to make room for a max free agent. But the way Kuzma's been talking makes me think he's going to pout about that. Well, I doubt it. I'll doubt it because Kyle Kuzma has already shown that he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. As a matter of fact, he's trying to change the way that he plays by playmaking more, right? Because that's what the coaching staff has asked. Early in his career, he hasn't pouted at all, man. He's a very, very humble young man, and he's taken everything he's done. He's taken that in stride, right? Everything, and even the people that have basically got in Kuzma's ear and let him know he's never complained a single day in his life. So at the end of the day, man, got to be proud of this kid, Kyle Kuzma. And I think he will fit in 6-man role or starting or whatever they need him to do perfectly. I don't understand why Kuzma gets so much hate, and I don't mean by you. I mean in general. I noticed that people always have the microscope on Kyle Kuzma recently, as of late, and they really want him to fail for some reason, and they're talking about trade him and do this and do that. I don't know who started the whole trend on hating on Kuz, seriously, because earlier in the season he was the most consistent young Laker, and for the most part, I mean, he's been putting up the most consistent numbers year round. So I don't know why people want to hate on him. Not to mention that the Black Mamba actually spent time with him. He must have seen something special in him. And if you look at the trend of the past players that Kobe Bryant has tutored, they have all became all-stars and some even superstars like Kawhi Leonard, right? So that's all I'm saying, man. We gotta chill and let's see what happens with Kyle Kuzma and the rest of the young core. I'm not ready to give up on all of these guys at all. I believe he's an all-star in the making for sure. Dan, you're still the best Laker channel out there since day one and the real OG Laker channel. You're going to keep growing. My brother, have a good night, dog. Thanks, Combat. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. You too, man. Keep working, brother, and sky's the limit. So you have a good night too, man. Take it easy, bud. The people were hating on Ingram earlier this season. Now it's on Kuzma. A lot of the fair weather fans hating on our own players. Yeah, and I don't appreciate that. I definitely don't. He said, can Kuzma beat out Lou Williams for 6-man next year if he has to take on that role? Lou Williams has been doing it for a long, long time, and I believe it'll be an adjustment period for Kyle Kuzma. However, for Kuz, I don't ever think it's been about the numbers. I think he's just trying to develop to the best of his ability, and I think he wants to win. I truly do. I believe he's a winner. He's proven it by basically sacrificing some of his scoring stats to try to become more of a playmaker and try to defend better. So I think he will be good, man. I definitely do. I can't wait to see what Kuzma turns into, man. And again, I can't wait to tell people, hey, who the heck said trade Kyle Kuzma? I say it on Twitter all the time, man. He said, is there expectations, Dan, that a lot of people wanted to see a big jump from him this year, but it hasn't been the case, but I still believe in Kuzma big time. I feel you hit, man, but can we really have – and that's where, as Laker fans, we got to learn how to temper our expectations a little bit more. Can we really, truly have a big jump from a second-year player? Potentially, yes. I mean, he did improve. What was he averaging last year? Like 16 points per game? He upped it all the way to 18 points per game. That's a 2-point jump. Might not seem like a lot. I know his 3-point shooting has taken a dip. But all in all, Kyle Kuzma has shown us that he can go off at any minute. I mean, just the other night he had 21 points in the third quarter. You know, I saw him play live when he dropped 40-plus points in 3 quarters. So, I mean, Kuzma's shown potential. And what I'm looking for in a young player mainly is the potential. Does he have the stuff? And Kuzma has the stuff. And you guys know what I'm talking about, Space Jams. So I wouldn't give up on that type of player at all unless you're getting an all-star in return. And that's the way I see it. Does the same thing that happened to D'Angelo Russell. He was inconsistent the first 2.5 years that we had him here. And then, you know, towards the end of the back end of his Laker career, he started going off, especially when they moved him to the 2 guard, if you guys remember. And I said, this kid is going to be special. Let's be patient with him. It always takes like the 3rd, 4th year for them to bloom. And sure enough, he's in his 4th year. He's an all-star. Julius Randle's in 4th or 5th year. I lost count. But these guys are already playing big time. Kuzma's right up there with him. And I think the one with the biggest potential out of all the young players we've ever drafted is Brandon Ingram. I think he's a 27-point-per-game scorer in his peak when he reaches his MVP level. And I think people are going to have to wait and just be patient with this kid because, yes, he's skinny. Yes, sometimes they've called him weak. Sometimes they say he doesn't have the killer mentality. But if you saw what he did this last month before he got injured, he really showed us a glimpse into his future. And I think he's going to be worth the wait the most than all of these players. But I think Lonzo makes one of the bigger impacts from the young players. I think Kuzma is the one that scores easily. But Brandon Ingram is that one guy that can become a superstar. And that's not a word I like to throw around lightly. But, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go ahead and hit the hey, guys, getting a little late. Again, got a lot of stuff to cover this summer, so keep it locked right here. If you guys have any suggestions for videos as well, I will be taking those in the comment section. But I got you guys. I already have a lot planned out, man, for this summer as far as, you know, the mock draft, my pecking order of what players we should draft and what order, you know, from least to best, like my #1 option to my, you know, least favorite. And I'm going to have grades for the end of the season as well as predicting the top things that can happen for Lakers and the worst things that can happen. So got a lot of content coming up, and let's see what happens. He said, when is Dan going to do a podcast? That'll be my last question I answer. You know what, man? As soon as I have time, because I've been wanting to do a podcast, not just about the Lakers, but about sports. And because pretty much, you know, I love covering all sports, especially basketball. You know, the NBA is my #1. But if I can dive into other stuff as well, then I would love to do it. But at the end of the day, guys, for now, you know, I have 2 jobs and I got to balance it out, man. And also got to, you know, make time for my family and all that. So for now, it's a no for me. But you never know. In the future, we get more subscribers. We make this a career. Might be able to do that for you guys. But thank you anyways, guys, for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. You guys have a good night. Much love, Laker Nation. Tonight we tank. You know, tonight we lose a battle, but overall, I hope we win the war by the start of next season. So y'all have a great night, man. Sleep on that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.